What's going on, people? By my wrinkled shirt, you could tell basically I was about to go to sleep. I wasn't going to make this video. This is not what I intended to do. Actually, I was going to edit another video, which I still will edit and upload on another time, another date, or something like that. But I was in a situation, and I'm not going to say any names specifically. I'm not going to try to call anybody out. That's not my intent. But it's about using the N-word, and since I'm a black person, I guess you could imagine what N-word I'm talking about. The only one N-word that basically is very divisive. It's very it has a very painful history behind it right now, and black folks use it. You know what that N-word is. For those that don't, like I said, I'm not gonna say it in my live stream, and I don't say it in any of my videos. I'm not saying I've never said it and don't use the word, but it's not right. A lot of people, a lot of good people have fought and died for black folks in America and worldwide to be acknowledged as human beings. And when I see it used freely, a lot of times, sometimes it doesn't bother me. Hey, what's up, Mr. Thomas? When I see it used freely, especially by people of other races, I ask myself the question, where are we as a society? What are we as black folks doing? I mean, it's Maya Angelou said it one time when she was talking to Common, the rapper. He was saying how we use the N-word as a source of power, and we kind of try to reclaim the word. And she said, in her words, that you could take poison and put, hey, Black Death, you could take poison and put it in another jar, but it's still poison. And as it pertains to using the N-word, is a derogatory term. No matter how we as black folks, no matter how people use it in any other, way or term of endearment, it is a negative word. There's a negative connotations to it. It is divisive. It is wrong to use even amongst black folks, but it is something acceptable in today's society. And I say it's never okay to use the N-word, if those that don't know, like I said, the only N-word that really causes racial divisions amongst black people. You want to start a fight, you go somewhere in any black neighborhood, anywhere, especially as a person of another race, and say that word, and you'll start a fight. But the reason I say even take the time out to say anything about this is because, like I said, somebody recently used the word, and I felt like, you know what, I have to speak on it and say that it's wrong for anybody to use. It's wrong for anybody to use the N-word in a derogatory way, in a term of endearment, because, like I said, it is poisonous. It is something that's divisive. It is something that if you're a people, you don't want to be referred to in a way that's subhuman. Be it you gay, be it you straight, be it you religious, whatever you're into. Nobody likes to, be referred to as less than, and when we use that word, Buckstore says, what's good, my brother? My brother, what's good? Yeah, I'm just talking about the uses of the N-word. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to say no names, but somebody that I came across, basically in a live stream had used the word and they were of a different race. And I didn't make an issue of it. Like I said, I don't know where people were coming from. I don't know, what, thoughts are going through their head, but maybe it was a term of endearment for them. And, to a lot of black folks, using the N-word is a term of endearment, amongst ourselves. But it's wrong because of the connotations it's used in, the meaning of it. It was never a word that was meant to lift black people up, using the N-word. It was never meant to, give us a sense of empowerment. It was never meant for us to be seen in a high social class. I mean, we use it in our music, in our language, in our style and stuff like that. But it is divisive. It's derogatory. It's beneath. I guess it's beneath us to call each other that, or to be called that by somebody else. And I think we've lost sight of it. And like I said, maybe I'm just preaching to the choir. I'm talking to myself, speaking into the wind. Black Thought says it's wrong. I've been trying to say stay away from using it, and it's hard. I can't lie. Yes, it is hard. But one of the things that I say about it is that it makes it more visible, especially when we see people of other races, using it, especially if they're trying to use it in the term of endearment, towards us. And that's something we as black folks, have started when we turned it into a term of endearment to try to reclaim and take power of it. But it is a negative word. It does cause problems. Sometimes as black folks, we don't even want to call each other that. And Juice, good morning. I'm just talking about the use of the N-word. How it's not conducive to lifting up us as a society, as a humanity, as a culture. It's a negative word that shouldn't be used in any sense, in any form, in any structure, in any sense. I mean, unless you want to talk about it from a historical standpoint, which was meant to demean, black people or whatever you want to consider, folks of a melanin skin, context. Buckstore says, "What's up, Juice?" And I'm glad to have Juice on my live stream. Very positive brother, very deep brother himself into veganism and, just positive thought and reflections about what he does. I know he could definitely relate, to the uses of that. What's new, guys? Just talking about, the usage of the N-word. I heard somebody use that, somebody of another race, and they were using it in the term of endearment. But it gets lost. Crimson Fantasy says, "What's up?" Yeah, I'm just talking about the uses of the N-word and how it's negative, it's divisive. These are things that folks already know. Melanie says we need to do a racism part 2 and discuss this. Yeah, definitely. We can definitely do a racism part 2, part 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But the uses of any racial epithet towards any type of people is wrong. And I hate to say it, as black folks, we're probably the only race. Melanie says, "I hear white people use it as a term of endearment and it makes me so uncomfortable." Yes, it is an uncomfortable term to use because at the end of the day, it has a negative connotation to it. It was never meant to lift black folks up. The N-word was never meant to say, "Oh, let's empower these slaves and call them, that term, so they could feel better about themselves." No. I get what we tried to do. We try to take control of it and put a spin on it. But if anybody knows the history, you understand the roots. It is a negative word. And it's a shame that as a culture, as a race, black folks are probably one of the only races on the planet that actually use a racial epithet or racial slur as a term of endearment to refer to each other. We're the only race that does that. Not that I know of. Chinese people don't do it. Caucasian people don't do it. Native Americans, Spanish, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we're the only ones that do it. And it makes me wonder. It's like, wow. Drew says racial groups do a great job separating people. Only a recipe for violence and injustice. Yes. And that word is definitely something that brings violence and injustice. If you want to start a fight with the black folks, you go somewhere into a prominently black neighborhood, into a predominantly black neighborhood, and say that word, and you'll find yourself in a situation that's not too comfortable for you. I don't care how educated folks are. Yes, Crimson, the term is in hip hop. They love the term, and it's unfortunate, to the generations and the cultures and the people and stuff like that. And when you talk about it, people kind of roll their eyes, especially in my community. It's almost like Negro please, like how dare you, and we lose because it's used and it's popularized and it's cool, to say amongst your people. But what happens when that's taken and is used in the same context by somebody outside the culture? From people who historically have had issues with black folks. And it's something that we encourage because folks say, well, I mean it as a term of endearment towards you, and you're saying to yourself, okay, fine. If it is a term of endearment towards me and towards each other as black folks, does that erase the history? Does that erase why it was created? No, it doesn't. It doesn't change that. It doesn't take it away. We could try to spin the word. We could try to say it's not, but I bring it to you like this. If I disrespect you, but I say it with a smile, is it still not disrespect? If I threaten to kill you, but I say it with a smile, and I, give you a handshake and a pat on the back, I still threaten to kill you. Buckstore says, unfortunately, but it's the elders used and passed it down. Yeah, it is. And it's a disservice. But I agree with Maya Angelou. What Maya Angelou said, when you take poison and put it in a new bottle, it's still poison. When you take a word such as that, which it has such negative and divisive history behind it, just taking it and passing it down, people give the word way too much power. It's just a word. Well, Juice, I'll say this much. What's attached to that word is the stereotypes. What's attached to the word is the judgment. Victory Leah says, hi, Mel. What's up? And yeah, in a way, it's just a word, but all words, by their own, own principle have meaning. Everything has a meaning to it. This cup of coffee, or a cup of tea, it has a meaning to it. It has a reason why, this is a cup, to pour things in. The shirt has a reason why you call it a shirt. Every word has meaning to it. Every word has a usage for it. And when we ignore the meanings or the usage of words and not understand the words that we're using, we do ourselves a disservice as a humanity. Because like I said, black folks are the only ones that I've seen that use a racial slur as a term of endearment. Juice says it's no different than the word stupid or idiot. We give it way too much power. Yeah, we can give words power and whatnot, but like I said, it's based on the actions. It's based on how we interact with each other, the history behind it. When somebody's called stupid or called an idiot, there's something to it. Melanie says there's a white guy who covers songs on his channel and uses the N-word because this song gets everyone mad at him, and he's not the one who wrote it but made it popular. Well, Victory Leah says, hey Juice, I enjoy your videos. My thing is that if there's something that is meant, it's like the swastika. We take the swastika, okay. People don't realize that the swastika started off as a symbol of peace, especially something used amongst the native Indians and something like that. You can actually research that. But it was taken and put on the Nazi flag, and then all of a sudden it became a negative connotation. Buckstore says, I've never seen other white people call each other cracker. Well, I've seen it, but it's not something that's done on a regular basis, like, we're gonna call each other this or that, or, whatever other words people use. I mean, I don't hear Chinese folks going around calling each other, whatever, slang words. I know what the slang words are. Or I don't hear, Hispanic people, Victor Leah says, I didn't know. Yeah, people don't realize that the swastika was actually supposed to be a symbol of peace in the beginning, but it was changed into a negative connotation because of the meaning of it and used in a Nazi sense. And then all of a sudden, it became a symbol of hate, So, words and the meanings that we attach to them do have power, especially the symbolisms and things like that. We can try to take it and switch it, but the meaning of a word or the meaning of a symbol is the meaning of a symbol, especially, when it's something that's very divisive and something that's very negative and something that tears people apart. The N-word and the usage of it is tolerated in society. People feel uncomfortable, when it's said around them. Some folks don't like it, especially in the black community, but what can you do? Because people want to use it. And it's something that we use to talk to and refer to each other in terms of endearment. But even myself, sometimes I admit that the usage of the word, or if I use the word, or if I say the word, it doesn't feel right. It is wrong. It is something that our ancestors were probably rolling their grave about. Victory Leah says, I was called a white crick when I was young and I blocked it out, but didn't know what it meant at the time. It's wrong for anybody to use any racial slurs. Melanie says, okay. Yeah. Well, even calling yourself that as a joke, Melanie, if you call yourself something racially insensitive as a joke, I say understand the meanings of the words. I mean, Juice says, yeah, we do give these words, way too much power and things of that nature. But I think the issue is too, we don't understand a lot of times where these negative definitions come from. Where these words have meaning, the etymology of the word, the root of the word, the origins of the word. I mean, if you're going to use these words, if you're going to put yourself in situations where you're going to have these racial divisions over these words, at least know what you're saying. A lot of people don't even understand, where, the N word came from and how it originated and what it was about, and is it just about black people? Melanie says, yeah, that's why all these words make me uncomfortable, because I think they go deeper than we think. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. These words go a lot deeper than we think, but people just say these words and refer to each other different ways without understanding what they're saying out their mouth. It's just like certain things in different cultures. There's certain things you don't say to different Spanish people, unless you want to be, in a fight or, put in a casket somewhere. Saying certain things you don't say to Chinese people, certain things you don't say to Russians, certain things you don't go saying to any other ethnic group that's out there, Aborigines. It's just that it's important to understand how these words affect us. Even if, like what Juice was saying, we give these words too much power. Understand that may be the case, but with us giving these words power, it's important to understand that words do matter. The connotations behind them, the what you call them, the symbolisms, the jokes, the spins that we put on it. Buckstore says words are powerful. Yes, they're powerful, and I don't think we should act like they're not. Some people chump it off. Some people act like it don't mean nothing. She says, for me to get upset over someone calling me N-words, I mean, I could understand you not getting upset. You don't have to get upset over it. You don't have to, but it's important to understand. Yeah, I get you. I get you, Juice. I get you. I'm not saying you are that, but it still causes racial divisions. I think a lot of people hide truth behind their jokes. I understand. Yeah, you're just a human being, and there's nothing wrong with being a human being. But the reality is that people use the N-word or any other negative racial slur to come at people, because you can't tell me that if somebody comes to you in the street and they're using that word in a derogatory term, that it doesn't affect you, because it's the usage of the word that's more powerful, I think, than just the word itself. That the word was specifically used to come at people, of color, of a certain, certain tone, certain skin tone, certain background and whatnot, to demean them, because the word itself doesn't bother me. I'm not, mad if somebody's using the, says the word, or you said the word. But now when you're using it to refer to me, and you're using it to refer to me in a negative way, or even try to put a positive spin on it, I start to get apprehensive. I start to say, hey, wait, what are you doing? You said they were to watch yourself, don't get it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's definitely one way of looking at it. If somebody says that word to me, fine. I'm not going to, jump up and get bent out of shape. But I am going to say, you know what? Almost like you said, I do defend myself to say I'm a human being. I'm not that word. I'm not just, a racial slur. Victory says like a Native American Indians get treated like this as well. Yeah, they do. They're treated a lot worse. My thing, Melanie says, if someone calls you something and it's not true, you're mad at them, it's not true. But I have to go to my homegirl, Granny Monster, what she said. You can't just shrug it off sometimes and act like it doesn't exist. Like the hate behind the word. See, that's what bothers me about the N-word. It's not so much the word itself. It's the negativity attached to it. Now, And no offense, this is just my strong opinion. You can say what you want. You can say what you want, but the negativity attached to the word bothers me. The things that have been done to people, because of that word or because of the uses behind the word and the ideologies behind it bothers me. It is something that I think is overlooked because you don't want to just sweep under the rug the history behind it. You don't want to just, unless you do, and that is your right to do so. But me personally, I don't want to act like all the negativity associated with the word didn't exist and doesn't exist. That's just how I feel. My thing is, it's wrong to use the word. It's wrong to use the word, whether you want to give it power or not. It's wrong to call somebody an idiot. It's wrong to call somebody stupid. It's wrong to call somebody, an objective term. You know what I'm saying? It's wrong to objectify somebody based upon their race, based upon their, their socioeconomical background, their body type, their sexuality, whatever it is. I think sometimes we give people too much of a pass because we're trying to be, above it all. And you can do that. But my thing is, let's acknowledge the hate behind the word. Let's acknowledge the negativity behind the word and move on. Of course, I have to be so caught up in the fact that you're trying to call me the N-word or you're trying to say I'm that. There's times people try to do stuff like that with me, and I'm above that. I don't have to be a part of that. But at the same time, I'm not going to stand there and let you just play me. Richard Lea says so true. It's just a word, guys. Guys, the N-word is just another insulting term to hurt others. Give that power. Yeah, you don't give it power. You don't give it power. But guess what? I'll give them an education. I don't have to give the word power, but I'll give the folks that use that, especially in a negative way, education. Even folks that don't understand the history behind it. And there is a responsibility as black folks, as people who understand, as folks who are of older generations, to pass on the lessons, the positive side of it, or just the realistic side to it, because we've passed down the negativity, we've passed down, the other thing. Education is good, and I think in a lot of ways people are not educated on different racial slurs or different aspects of humanity where we are human beings first. I agree with you on that, Juice. We are human beings first. I'm not the N-word. I'm not just a color. As you've said in some of your videos, you're a human being. We are human beings, but unfortunately, as me and Melanie have spoke about many times, or a couple of times, people just don't see us that way. We create divisions. We create the division of race. We create the division of, racial slurs and epithets and, segregation and stuff like that. We as humanity have created those such divisions, and it's sad, but they exist. Just like when I talk about the N-word. Yeah, it's just a word until you start to look at the meaning behind it, as far as what people attach to it, the negativity people attach to it. Richard Lea says my uncle was racist, but World War II didn't help him. He already passed away. Sorry to hear about your loss. But I still think it's up to the older generations or the people coming up or folks that are wise now to educate folks and let people know, look, yeah, you use that word and you say these things, but it's a negative connotation behind it. People have fought and died for us to be recognized as human beings. And that has started with not being referred to as just, another, no good, so-and-so, with the N-word attached to it. We fight on a regular basis. We, as black folks in this world, we fight to be recognized as human beings. If you're saying that, Juice, this is a part of that. This is a part of, not giving that word power, not, letting it define you, by defining it and saying, look, that word does not define me. That word is not who I am. And it is something that I know moving forward that I definitely have to stay away from, because when I see people from other races use the word and I see them use it in a way where it's a term of endearment, I'm thinking to myself, do you understand the negative history behind that word? Do you understand that the people who have fought and died to be recognized as human beings? Do you understand that? And a lot of people don't. That's the problem I have. I mean, the word is just a word, you know. Just says racial groups are poison, one of the biggest distractions on earth. Okay, I got you. It says friends among the people treat with respect. Yeah, we should all treat people with respect. Racial groups definitely can be poisonous, you know, because we are human beings. You know, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that we're not human beings first. We are that. But the reality is, we do have socially accepted norms that revolve around race. Anybody that's black on this live stream, anybody that's black in this country, in this world, understands what it means to have a different skin color and to be looked at negatively in any light when it comes to other people of other colors, of other races. You said I've never been labeled myself a so-called black person. Fine. If you don't label yourself a so-called black person, guess what? There are other people who label you as a so-called black person. Melanie says we need to fight harder for everyone to be seen as equal humans. The reality is this, and this may be controversial. We can fight for equality. We can fight to be seen that way, you know, amongst those who have the right mind or like-minded views. But the reality is that some people on this earth that have hate in their heart and they will never see folks as equal. Melanie says, Juice, other people will label you that way. True. Well, I think the most important thing to be seen as, other than African American, black folks, or whatever, is a human being. Regardless of how we label each other race-wise, we need to be seen as human beings first. But guess what? There's a lot of people who are not comfortable with that. There's a lot of people who are not comfortable with saying that I'm a human being, you're a human being, whoever's watching is a human being. That goes into a situation of you look different. You come from a different place. You have a different socioeconomical situation. You have a different educational background. You speak funny. You look funny. You know, why is your body shaped that way? Or why do you eat that way? Or why do you come from where you come from? And these are things that are not going away. These are things that are not going to disappear because people are not comfortable with these things. And I say this stuff. Victory says, plus, how do people know about the ancestors so people shouldn't judge others that go to that place? Yeah. You know, you don't know about the ancestors. You don't know about different stuff that's happened before. But I think people need to learn their history. People need to understand what words they're using when they're saying them. Even myself. You know, I've understood different racial terms and slurs that I don't use to other people. I know what not to say to almost any other race, be it you Jew or a group of people, be it you Jew, be it you gay, be it you what you call Spanish, be it you Chinese, be it you Russian. I know all these different things not to say. But then when it comes to my own people, one of the most negative words, one of the most negative connotations we use, you know, towards each other as sometimes as a term of endearment on a regular basis. And no matter how cool it may seem, no matter how socially acceptable it may be, it's a negative thing. Juice says African Americans are not even Africans. We're not the 12 tribes of Israel. Those are slaves. Well, Victory Leah says I got Cherokee blood running through my veins. My past feelings, I'm proud of that. Well, those are interesting. Juice says we're so brainwashed, it's insane. That could be the case. Like I said, all those things that you said could be the case. Yeah, I hate the term African American. That's why I never use it. Like I said, all those particular things that you said, Melanie, Victory Lee, or Juice, could be the case. My issue is that folks are not taking the time out to be educated. Yeah, folks will probably be brainwashed. You know, there are issues that are out there. But I think there's not enough people out there who are fighting to educate themselves on issues of race, inequality, identity. Yeah. He's saying that they're ignorant. Well, Juice, you know, a person being ignorant doesn't mean that they can't learn if they don't want to. The information is out there. You know, there are ways to obtain the stuff. We live in a generation where, you know, you can Google things. You can still go to libraries. You can still have access to things while it's still available. And some people choose not to. Some people are just comfortable with the norms of societal norms of you know, today's generation. You know, Victor Leah says more like stubborn. Yeah, you could say ignorant, you could say stubborn, but it still doesn't change the fact that the truth is the truth. Either you want to know the truth or you don't. Either you want to be educated or you don't. Either you want to be ignorant or you don't. Either you want to be stubborn or you don't. Either you care about the issues of humanity and equality or you don't. It only says there's a quote in the Age of Information, ignorance is a choice. Yes, ignorance is a choice. A lot of times ignorance is a choice. Ignorance of the law, ignorance of morality, ignorance of people, ignorance of race, ignorance of, inequality, equality, justice, you name it, you know. And, like I said, this conversation has went a lot further than I wanted it to go. Julius says, well, I love history. People can learn from it. Yeah, people can learn from it, but too many times people ignore it. And that's why we're doomed to repeat the mistakes of history. A lot of people think they can create their own truth, though, which is dangerous. Yes, people do think they create their own truth. My thing is, find out the truth about yourself. Find out the truth about where you come from. Find out the truth about how we refer to each other, how we deal with each other. Don't just ignore things and sweep things to the side because it doesn't, fall into your line of thinking. Be open-minded if you can, especially issues of race, of racial stigmas that people put on each other, of judgment, of inequality, social injustices that happen. These things are out there. They exist. They're not going to go away. It affects our children. It affects our society. It affects us in many ways. Baby girl Neil says, hey, Mel. Hey, baby girl Neil. You called me just when I was about to get to the end of this conversation. I was just talking about the uses of the N-word. And Victor Leo, yeah, okay, can't read it. She says the government is the reason why we're all so confused. They label us everything, politics, race, and religion. Well, here's the thing I say about that when you say government. If you look into the, Constitution or the founding documents, it does say we the people. So if you talk about the government, you're saying we the people. We the people run the government. Whoever we the people are, whoever those folks are. We the people choose to be active or inactive in our government, in our society. And, that's another conversation for another day. I disagree with that on religion. Yeah, well, disagreement is good. Disagreement is definitely good. Maybe that's a conversation that we can have one day about religion, because I'll speak about it all. Some people want to shy away from all the hot topics. I may lose a lot of subscribers based off of just this live stream alone. I don't know. Juice says, we the people, the same people slaving humans and degrading women and Indians. Like I said, we could go there. My religion actually teaches that we are equal and go against divisions. And there are different things out there that people, yeah, this would definitely be a long talk. Melody and Juice, both of you are bringing up great points. Yeah, this is you're taking me in a whole other deep conversation, which I'm definitely willing to have. I don't know if I'm gonna have it at 1:53 in the morning, but I'm definitely gonna be around. I don't want to ignore what you're saying. You said slave owners gave us the Christian religion. Oh my God. Juice. Oh my God, Juice. Woof. Oh my God. Slave owners gave us the Christian religion. There we go. Oh my God. White Jesus. Oh my God, Juice. You went there. Oh my God. Woo. We went to white Jesus. Oh my God. Woo. Oh my God. Just woo. Wow. I don't even know where to go with that one. I don't agree with all those statements made, but wow, white Jesus is definitely I gotta sip my tea on that one. My brother. Government is very powerful. I agree, government is very powerful, but wow, he said they even gave us white Jesus. I'll say this much for anybody that reads in the Bible, even the King James version of the Bible. I forget exactly where it says. It describes what Jesus looked like. And they didn't say nothing about white Jesus. No offense to anybody, but it says he had, basically dark skin and hair of wool. So we're not gonna go into the white Jesus thing. As far as the government giving us the Christian religion, if you follow, the Torah or even the Abrahamic scriptures, it breaks down the history of how the Christian religion came to be even till today. So I disagree with that, but I hear where you're coming from. Different interpretations do come. Victor Lee says I'm not touching on that subject. Yeah, I'm not gonna shy away from it. I'll talk about anything, which may piss a lot of people off. Excuse my language, but like I said before, you have to have the tough conversations. You have to be willing to go there. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm gonna go there into a conversation about religion in this particular live stream. No, I will not. But Juice did. He did set a little couple of things off with the white Jesus thing. The slaves are not Africans. We are Israelites from the 12 tribes. Woof. Oh my God. I got some people who would definitely talk to you about the 12 tribes and the Israelites. Juice says religion is a joke. Oh, it's a joke. Oh my God. Woof. Oh man, Juice, you're trying to offend a lot of people out there. Religion definitely does have its issues. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend it does. Llama Monster, hi all. How are you doing, Llama Monster? You came in at a particularly interesting time when we started talking about white Jesus and religion as being a joke and all that other stuff. Oh man. Oh man. Wow. This is a very interesting live stream, and I say to anybody that watches this back, please keep an open mind. Please keep an open mind. This is conversation. I try to have civil discourse. Everybody's welcome to express their point of view. Nobody is to be judged based off of what they said in here. Hopefully not. We try not to judge folks. We try to have a civil discourse, even if some people may think religion is a joke and that the government gave us white Jesus. Basically, these people have a right to their own opinion. Some people believe that. We do have freedom of speech in this country, which is a great thing, is a blessing. I thank God that I'm born in America and, that there's freedom of speech, because conversations like this would probably get people shot, in other countries and other provinces of the world. So it's a great thing to have this civil discourse, or disagreement on particular issues. Love is the answer. No more religion, no separating of humans. I do agree love is the answer, but some people may see it in a religious context. Even some people who are not religious may not realize that the highest form of love is charity. Charity towards your fellow man. Charity towards those that are less fortunate. And when you follow love, when you follow the highest form of love, being charity, it is hard. Well, religion is in the Bible. It is in the Bible, Juice. Depends on which Bible you looking at. I don't go through every Bible, but it is in the Bible. All we need is love altogether. Know the Beatles. Yes, I love that. Beatles are great. Yes, I wish I could play a Beatles record without getting a copyright strike right now. But definitely, I agree with Juice on that. Too many Bibles. Yes, it is too many Bibles. I personally read the King James Version of the Bible, but that's a conversation for another time. The Authorized King James Version I read. What I will say to Juice, though, is that, and to anybody else, love is the answer. Not to be sap happy about it, but specifically charity. Melanie said religion is established before the Bible. Yes, I agree with you, Melanie. It is. One God for all. Yes, I agree with you on that too, Juice. Religion was established before the Bible. One God for all. Love is the answer and the key. But Unfortunately, we live in a world of opposites, as an old timer once taught me. We live in a world where, yes, there's love. Not all religions, though. Well, see, I'm trying not to go there for very specific reasons. But let's just say, as far as religion goes, at least from what I know, what I understand about it, it's more about the journey. It's more about the apostolic journey than particularly one set religion and whatnot. Like I said, because I'm not trying to get too deep into that, because I know there's people that'll watch this and say, oh, are you trying to proselytize people? No, I'm not. But the way I see it is just, it's more of a journey. It's more of a transformation. It's more of a, oneness. You trying to make that connection with God. And people find different ways to that one particular path. God does not speak of religion in the Bible. I don't agree with that one, Juice, because he does, just maybe not in the way that you may think, But when it comes to religion, is a set of moral precepts, a way of living that people follow. But I do agree with you and Melanie, about some of the points that you made, but just to bring it around, love is the key to it, Love is the key, and I think not a lot of people have enough love in their heart. There's not enough love in this world passing around towards other folks. We live in a world of opposites. We live in a world where, hatred, it exists, and it exists in many different forms. Even if you want to call it racism, even if you want to say it's segregation and, racial divisions or whatever you want to call that, but there's a lot of hatred in this world. And it's sad, it's sad that, a lot of times people are subjected to things like that. And it does take love. It takes a lot of it. It takes real serious concern about your fellow human being. And it's not something that happens overnight. It's not something that just, magically appears. We can't act like there's not people out there who would just rather watch the world burn. There are people out there that are like that. There are people out there who are vicious. There are people out there who are sick, sadistic, who don't care nothing about this conversation or kill everybody in this conversation for even trying to have a civil discourse about anything. We live in a world of opposites, and I'm not trying to scare anybody or anything like that. But Julia says, can be friends by the song called, well, okay. That's cool. But, like I said, I'm not trying to get too deep in this conversation. I'm not pretending to have an exhaustive conversation. I don't have all the answers, but, it is important to talk. It is important to express where you're coming from. It is important to have your thoughts out there. Who knows? Maybe you may come up with some type of solutions on how we could treat each other better, on different ways we could talk to each other. I'm grateful to you folks that come on this live stream and express your different points of views. I think Juice stole the show, especially with White Jesus. I don't know why I think of the Boondocks when I heard him say White Jesus, or read the text when he said White Jesus. Oh man. I wish people could see that comment coming back in the replay, about she talking about White Jesus. That's interesting. That is very interesting. This was a live stream that went into a place that I did not expect it to go. And on that note, it being after 2 a.m. on the East, I appreciate everybody that joined this live stream. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the comments. And Juice says government is all about power. When we know truth, they lose power, aka money. Hey, that may be possible. That definitely may be possible. But I thank you, Juice, for coming in. I'm going to check you out on your live streams and in your subsequent videos that you do in the future. I appreciate you, Melanie, for being here. Victory Leo, Crimson Fantasy, Carl Thomas, Thorn Driven, hey. And you came at the end of the conversation. You missed. Anybody came? White Jesus is our suppressor. Oh my God, Juice. Oh my God, Juice. Oh, I'm not laughing at you, Juice. It's just the It's just the boldness, the boldness. I think they should get rid of money. In my opinion, the government won't do that. Um, I disagree with you on that. Money may change forms. I mean, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is something that folks may have to look through to the future. Wow, this is a conversation that went in so many different places. This when it's wow. I you folks on here don't understand how much I appreciate you. This is what live streaming is about. We start off talking about the use of the N word and how it's bad and how it shouldn't be used and negative connotations. And then Juice says the slave master dehumanized man. Wow, Juice, you're going around. But I appreciate your input. I appreciate everybody's input in the conversation. And hopefully we can do this again soon. But like I said, anytime something is sparked in my mind and I feel like I need to stream about it and talk about it, I'll try to have a civil discussion about it. They stripped everything away from man, education, and all that. Well, I'll say to that, Juice, as mankind, we are man. You know, we've stripped our identity away from each other. Melanie says just the humanization of humans is the root of our problem. Discuss that with Mel on our collab. Yes. I'll say this to anybody. Um, if we are lost, Juice, it's because we have lost each other. If we have been dehumanized, it's because we dehumanize each other. If we do hate, it's because we hate each other. Man is man's biggest problem. We are our greatest foe. We are our greatest friend at times. You know, we are our best enemy, you know. If we are lost, it's because we have lost ourselves. We have lost sight of each other. We have lost sight of what it is to love each other, to care about each other, to respect each other, to see each other as human beings first. And we deal with that issue. Hey, then we'll start to actually break some ground on where we move forward. But on that note, I really have to go. And this has been a very, 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 very engaging conversation. Um, yeah, Juice. You do have a lot of thoughts. Me and you need to link up one day, Juice, and do a live stream. We definitely need to do a live stream because it sounds like you have a lot to say. You know, um, me and you definitely need to link up. You know, anybody wants to hit me up on Hangouts, definitely link me. We can have conversations. We can talk about some heavy stuff. We can talk about some light stuff. But it's all good. Thank you for the civil discourse. Now I must go. Take care. Much love. Much love to you, Juice. Much love to everybody. All right. Yeah, we should. We got to link up, Juice. We got to link up.